guessing since we haven't seen a single car except for a Jeep about probably 5-10 miles back, that we ain't gonna run into anybody here at the park. So this is gonna be awesome. We're gonna have the place to ourselves. Hey sightseers, Ty and I are checking out a park in Marinette County called Goodman Park, and there's a good reason for it, but we'll get to that here shortly because there's a few things I want to show you since we arrived. So much for social distancing. I guess I'm not going to be the only one here in the park. So according to the sign here, technically the parks are closed. And as you can see, the bathrooms are blocked off, even though they're basically just outhouses. They're not allowing you to go in and use them because of the old coronavirus. So I guess that puts a little bit of a damper in our plans today, but I guess I'm going to be like everybody else and go walk around even though the park is technically closed. It looks like they got a little bit more snow than we did back home. I know some places got like close to a foot, maybe even more. So we are farther north than where we live. And kind of cool to see snow yet, and it's 57 degrees. So far, Ty and I have avoided running into any people, other than the few that we've seen in the parking lot, and I maintained far enough distance that I'm pretty sure I'll be safe. But the whole point of me coming out here was I thought we would be just us, but apparently there's a lot of people not following the stay-at-home guidelines, myself included. Anyways, right now we're in the campground. I didn't know they had a campground here. That's cool. Now I can scope it out and check it out. It looks like a really nice campground. Maybe I can come back and camp here this summer. Oh, look at how big this campsite is. You got your picnic table and your fire pit. If you pan over, it's just like this big area. I mean, I'm assuming you have this entire area to set your camp up in. Ooh. And this is behind the campsite, right here. That's the Peshtigo River down there. We'll take a quick walk down there and check it out. You can tell that the river had flooded its banks because you can see all the debris laying here, including a bobber. That means some poor fishermen lost their fish. Must have been a big one. Oh, looks like we discovered the remains of somebody's shoe. If this was a flip-flop. Oh, somebody's sandal. Ugh, I touched it with my bare hand. Nasty. Ugh. If you can see that dark mass right up there in the tree, it's a nest of some sort. I'm not sure if that's for some sort of large bird or if it would be for a squirrel or what. I've never seen a nest that huge before. Just so you can see the size of those campsites. This is campsite number 8. And look at how far back the picnic table is. It's right over there. Well, here's the skinny on the campsite. Apparently they are first come, first served sites, so that's cool. Now granted, you can't make reservations if you're in the area. You're just gonna have to wing it and see if they're available, but for somebody that lives close enough by that it's not a big deal to drive out to see if they got sites, well hey. Or if you just happen to be traveling through the area and you stop in and see if it's open, that's cool too. So I like that idea. I like that the campground's first come, first serve, because so many campgrounds these days are on a reservation basis, and a lot of them book out a year in advance. I kid you not, like a lot of the state parks in Wisconsin even. I mean, I can understand like down in Florida where all the snowbirds go and all that, and you got all the people down there wanting to camp, but up here in Wisconsin, yeah, camping's high demand, so this is cool. Really cool. The only thing I don't know is how much it costs, so something I'll have to look into. Here's a little bit more on the campground and the park itself, which is cool. It has a nice little map on there showing where the walking trail is along the Peshtigo River. Apparently there's a bridge. If we go far enough down, there's a bridge. And then, of course, the whole reason that we came here to begin with is the falls. Strong Falls is what I want to show you. So I think we'll go head over there and see how well we can fare without running into anybody. Do you know what that is? That is a bat house. For you city folk who aren't familiar with this, I know some of you country folk already know what this is all about, but for those of you who don't know, there are little slats that are up in there which you can't see because it's too dark, but that's where the bats crawl in, and that's where they roost during the day. It's always nice to see that because that means the park's encouraging bats to reside here. And if you don't know this, bats are an important species to have because they eat mosquitoes, and so by having bats out here in the woods, by encouraging them to roost here, it helps keep the mosquito population down, which makes it better for all the people coming out here, especially the campers. Doesn't say anything about not walking here. I was gonna say check out this really bright green moss until I realized it's just paint. I kind of find the amount of vehicles here and the amount of people walking around just a little bit disturbing. Not because I don't understand that people need to get out and spend time in fresh air, but because our governor has already closed down a number of parks here in the state because people weren't following social distancing orders. And so because of that, along with all the vandalism and people not picking up after themselves, I'm just concerned that this park will end up being like one of the state parks or the other parks that the governor closed, because there's so many people here that inevitably somebody's going to come along and ruin it for everybody else. Well, it looks like they've got these cabins here that you can reserve. This one's got a capacity of 194 people. I wonder how much it costs to reserve one of these babies, but wow, look at that. Isn't that just the coolest thing? I wonder if you could sleep in these things. They remind me of what you would find back in the old days in the logging camps. Except I was schooled on that actually the old logging camps were put up in such a hurry that they weren't made very well. They were basically made out of tar paper and just some logs, some wood thrown together. So in all reality, this wouldn't be what you'd find in a logging camp, except maybe for the owners, the lead guys, they might have stayed in something big like this. But this is just the coolest thing out here. I don't know. I think it would be really cool to sleep out here. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. If that other one wasn't cool, check out this one with the huge stone fireplace going up the side. Oh look, today must be my lucky day. I just happened to sit down here and look at what happened to be laying here. A quarter. Well, Ty and I are doing our best to maintain our distance from other people and picking up after ourselves. Hopefully other people are doing the same. Okay, I don't want to be negative, but I'm going to get on my soapbox just for a minute here. If you're one of those dog owners who thinks you don't need to pick up after your dog when you're out in public, what you're really doing is a huge disservice to the rest of us dog owners who are responsible. Because inevitably, places that allow dogs, when people don't pick up after the dogs, inevitably those places become fewer and far in between to be found. So, all I'm saying is if you're a dog owner out there, pick up your poo. And yes, you're getting the sneer of disgust and contempt, because that's what I think of all those people who don't pick up after their dogs. Okay, I'm going to put a lid on it now. Ghetto Sally was on the verge of coming out and kicking some butt, but we're gonna bring it back. Calm. Namaste. Om. Alright. Back in my happy spot. No more complaining. No more bitching. Well, let's get on with this adventure, shall we? I guess we can't get inside, can we? So this is really cool. This is the footbridge that goes over the Strong Falls. I wasn't expecting there to be a bridge that we could walk over, so we're gonna head over and check it out from the other side. Wow, this is really beautiful in here. Check this out. Man, I had no idea. I've never been here before. And this is all flowing off the Peshtigo River, or part of the Peshtigo River. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your point of view, there's signs up saying you're not allowed in the falls. Given how fast the water's moving, how fast the current is, I totally get it. So I'm not sure if it's due to the spring melt or if it's like that all the time here. This is my first time out here. I've never been here before, so this is really exciting to see this. And I don't know, I'm hoping that by sharing this with y'all, I know a lot of you are cooped up right now, that maybe this will give you a little bit of an escape from the normal drudgery of being inside. If you look right down here, there's even a miniature falls. I wonder what tiny creatures live here in the moss. In case you didn't know where we're at, we are here. Looks like they have quite the extensive amount of hiking trails in this area. We'll have to come back and check some of these out. It's getting a little late in the day to be going on any long mile hikes. Well, sightseers, I think we've seen about as much as we're going to see today. I left kind of too late in the day to do much more than this. But that just means that we'll have to come back on another day when hopefully there's not as many people. and then go do the other hikes. And maybe I can even get Marty to come along too. Special thanks goes out to all our fellow sightseers here on Patreon and PayPal. Without you, these videos wouldn't be possible.